Well, Tuesday night training tips. Once again, I'm just going to sort of plug up the coming Thursday shows on our podcast. I've seen a few things here on some people are posting about personal protection dogs, right? And I think it bears addressing. If you know, some of you in the Chicago area may know a gentleman named Gypsy Stratton, old Gypsy, with American Protection Dogs. He did some videos, and he had a couple of lawyers that he was discussing dog bites, when you can get sued, when you can't get sued. And the lawyers had, nice, good, clear, they presented it well. They told exactly what the situations were. And there's some things that I think it'd be worth your while to go look. He's on Facebook. One of the things, the first topic they brought up was a personal protection dog. Do you train a personal protection dog to send and go get someone? Well, the attorney said if you do send your dog after somebody and they sue you and we go to court, the first thing I'm going to bring up to the jury is, if it's a personal protection dog, why did it run somebody down 50 yards away? That's not protecting your person. That's going after someone. That's an assault, unless you're a police officer. So that's absolutely legit. As many of you know, I've testified in court on these things. I've studied probably half the state's laws, and he's really right. So now some people draw from that, well, there's no reason to ever train my dog to do a send. There is a reason to teach your dog to do the courage tests and the sends. Has nothing to do with how you use the dog in a personal protection, a security situation. The next thing they brought up was just that fact. Handlers need to know what's expected of them, both physically in controlling their dog, or when to send the dog, and legally. When can you engage, have your dog engage? The second and third big final thing that Gypsy has is, can you stop the dog from biting? And on this issue, the two attorneys had an interesting take on it that I'd never thought of. They said, if the trainer you bought this dog from hasn't trained the dog to a level where you can stop the aggression, then I'm going to attack that in court. And the main thing I'm going to go after, because now Gypsy, he's a trainer, been doing it a long time. He said, well, what about me as a trainer? How liable am I to be sued? And remember, he's in Chicago. All you folks down here in Texas with me, rest easy. You ain't got to worry. Well, maybe. A lawsuit's a lawsuit. Anyone can sue anybody. And what this attorney told Gypsy was, if I go to court and I go down the chain, first I sue the handler, then I go back to the trainer, and we go all the way back to the breeder if we can. And the first thing I'm looking for in a trainer is, what's his experience level? What credentials does he have that I can present in court to prove he was capable and that his dog, therefore, was a properly trained protection dog? I never thought about that. So these are a bunch of the little worms that they let out of the can we're going to try and address. Well, we're not going to do that this week. We had a request for a little topic on muzzle training, and coincidentally, Gypsy's a big proponent of muzzle training. He doesn't believe a dog ought to bite anything. He thinks all the training should be done in a muzzle. We're going to address equipment. This is going to be a 2 or 3-parter. We're going to address all the dog training equipment, because there is a tremendous lack of information. There's a certain way to use a harness. There's a reason you have a harness. Each and every tool that you use, leash, whistle, muzzle, anything you have to train your dog, every one of those tools were designed for a specific application. If I had a tree to cut down, I would not take a screwdriver to it. That's not what the screwdriver is designed for, right? So same thing applies to a harness, to a prong collar, to an electric collar. All of these tools, training tools, your leash, were designed for a specific application. Some things can be used for multiple applications. Other things can be used for incorrect multiple applications. And that's what we're going to go through on this first part 1 of equipment. We're going to go through every one of the major training items, tools that there are. And then we're going to follow it up the next week with a detailed tutorial on muzzle training. How to start it, there is a way to start it. How to proof it, there is a way to proof it. And how to finish it, and the advantages, pros and cons. So that'll be in 2 weeks. So there's our programs for the next couple of weeks. Hope a whole bunch of y'all will join us. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, and see you Thursday night, 6 o'clock right here. Thanks.